for the seeding for a preferred team to go up against, which is going to be either Koi or Wolves. The winner of this best of 3 goes Koi, and the loser goes to Wolves. But of course, we have seen Secret play this map before, and back then they banned Ying and Azami. For now, it's going to be a Lion ban. Now, that does show you that they are not very fan of being rushed against or any, let's say, quick pace play to come through, often back-upped by a Lion.
But maybe it allows you to play a little bit more aggressively on the defence as well.
Yes, as well.
You don't have those early E1D scans that are going to stop the run-outs, that are going to stop, that sort of early roam game out in the map. And we know that can be important on board. Getting up to those thresholds, preventing the attackers getting inside the map can be a big half of the battle.
For sure. The Glass being banned, Valkyrie as well. Valkyrie is, of course, a mainstay on the bench. The Glass is a more peculiar one. It's not often we see that, but there's long angles here. Sometimes you have some smoke executes. And the Azami is coming down as well. So, no Valk, but Solace will be up. And, might be able to catch some drones. But that's it. That's the bans. Glass is definitely one that stands out here the most, I dare to say.
Yeah, I think, Glass, we tend to see a little bit on bathroom tellers, that sort of area where you can get close to your plant spot, use those smokes deep to, prevent anybody being able to push and being able to see what's going on, and then obviously use the glass scope to be able to see in through there and just devastate, if you can, as people try to push that plant going down. But as we said, a big early focus here is going to be entry battles, it's going to be gunfights, it's going to be the first minute to a minute and a half of the round, just seeing how that shakes down, who comes out with the advantage. I mean, overall, there's all sorts of nice little links, not just between these two teams, but also the teams they're looking at facing. If we look at Team Secret and you say, right, do they want to win this, lose it? Are they going to favour playing Koi? Yeah. Are they going to favour playing Wolves? They beat both of them in the stage. So I think Team Secret are probably carrying a bit of confidence here in that actually we don't really mind how this shakes down. We're going to be confident going into that LCQ matchup. Heroic, on the other hand, they beat Team Secret in the group stage just at SI. So they've got that element there where they think, obviously there's been a couple of roster changes, but this is that early aggression I was talking about that the Lion ban might support as well from Sleben. But plenty going on between these two.
Now, actually, I was going to be mentioning it. The Grim is being stuck here. Skitty will find that first kill as Groovy gets taken care of. So that's that early aggression taken care of. Now, there was going to be the opportunity, at least a bit of a bait, where we had the one player being detected outside and the other trying to go for the passport control peek. Didn't quite work out. So that entry kill is there for Heroic. It's a good first start. Astro has been spotted, and, well, maybe the bees are coming in very soon.
We'll keep a close eye on that. As you say, we see very little Grim. We are going to have them deployed out into the 90 corridor there. So for you, anybody who hasn't seen Grim used before, that gadget, anybody who runs through it will be pinged out in a similar manner to Alibi or Lion's pings that you see. They will be pinged out for a period of time. We're going to have a returning kill coming in. It's going to be Jumu's taken down. Kayak and Uno managed to find two, though. Uno taken down in a trade. And after all that shakes out, it's Team Secret actually left with the advantage, leveled up, but can't make it stick as Kayak gets taken down. It's all up to Skiddy in a 1v2, and I'm pretty sure we mentioned something about early round gunfights. Well, there you have it. We're a minute 15 into the round, and there's only 3 left alive.
Yeah, as soon as I saw Kayak sit in the middle of the side, I was like, okay, this is interesting. Are they going to try and go for a plant here? But everybody dying all across the map basically made it so they did not have the opportunity to. Now, the plant's going down by Skiddy. He's found himself in a bit of a safe space. He's going to be pushed quite a bit, actually goes off it, knows that he's being pushed. He is himself in quite a good position here. Finds the first, goes for the second, but Savage a little bit quicker on the trigger there to secure that kill. Making sure that Secret is landing that first round.
Skiddy was actually really unlucky there, I think. We see that bait plant maneuver sometimes. He's got 2 defenders ahead of him who he knows are not going to move a muscle unless they have to. There's no reason for them to, because ultimately, clock ticks down, they win. So Skiddy knows he's got to do something to get them moving. And what he doesn't want to do is start pushing into their angles. He knows that they sat there, they're holding their ADS down, they're just waiting for him to move in. They're probably going to have a crossfire if they know what they're doing. So he doesn't want any part of that. Starts to just put that diffuser down, and actually, it really nearly swings the round for him. It forces those defenders to move. It loses them quite as good a crossfire. They did still sort of have one from small office to archives door, but it really restricted what they could do with it. He could use the lockers to break it in half, for example. Really, really well played. Just didn't get the result he wanted. All come down to that last gunfight. It was just a case of who was quicker on the trigger, and it was Savage in that case. But a good opening first round, and I think we're set up for a good game between these two.
It's definitely going to be an explosive game between the two, and as you just mentioned, he basically did everything perfectly, right? He cut the pie, he managed to take 2 1v1s. It's just a shame the last one didn't go his way. Now round 2 is going to be as explosive as a start as we had previously, where we had multiple spawn peek attempts going out from Secret, not really finding any success, even though they still managed to pull the round in the end. Doesn't seem to be the case now. There's definitely some wariness, though, on the side of Heroic. They are quickly checking every single window, every single door, making sure no one is leaning out of them. And as they now continue, they have the opportunity to start knocking onto those actual sides. Drones already inside that top floor will be telling you what is safe and what is not. And you see the yellow pings to come out, which are exactly what Blaz needs to start moving up.
I love the pace that we're playing with at the minute. Both teams certainly furious about getting those good early starts. It's going to be Heroic this time as Uno manages to take down Sleben in a great opener at the main door, just catching Team Secret out. If you're going to play right up at the boundary, you got to be careful of those entry players coming in, but it's Grube who's going to level us up, manages to find Skiddy as he pushes into Armory, but there's the trade. So far, 2 rounds in, there's been a lot of trades here between these two teams, and I love the interplay that we're seeing within them as teams.
And Secret wasn't able to instantly reply, but as it is, speaking, the Savage on the Capcan just got spotted out. He wanted to go for a refrag, has been spotted by that drone, so he instantly falls back towards the eastern stairs. He's just going to be holding tight right there, doesn't want to be moving too much and get caught off as a result, and as the phone calls go off, it's Kayak that finds himself in the middle of the bathroom again. We have that Dokkaebi in the middle of the side. Now, an EDD kills Blaz. They have no clue about Kayak being out here, though. He finds the first, unaware of the fact there might be someone coming up right behind him.
Kayak's been a little bit slippery so far in these first couple of rounds. We saw him inside a site last time, and again, he's just got himself sat inside of the showers now, and it starts to give a real piece of control to Heroic. But the big question, of course, is can they do a little bit more with it than they managed to last time? This time, they've been able to stick the man advantage at least 3 versus 2. Uno's about to think about dropping and delivering that diffuser. There's definitely an opportunity to put a plant down, and Astro, if he moves around this corner, is likely to get taken out by Kayak, who is now on the cover in a very important position. There you go, that's the kill that they were looking for. Heroic get the diffuser down, Uno sticks it, Kayak finds another, and what a round from Kayak, managing to close that out, and Heroic, they level things up 1-1.
It's 2 rounds in a row now where we find Kayak in the middle of the side, and in that first round he managed to find a kill, but nothing more after that, and now he actually manages to take that control. But the big difference between round 1 and 2 was that the fact that Heroic wasn't dying all over the map. They still had some control. They were able to move that diffuser into a position where they could actually have that plant down on the ground, and they did so successfully. You mentioned it before, when you start planting, defenders need to move. When you have that diffuser down, there's even more pressure coming down at that point because you need to make sure that it doesn't run out. 45 seconds, all you have at that point.
We're going to be heading into round 3 then. All level so far. Heroic certainly looking better than they did last time we saw them. We've got to say, against M&M, they really did just seem off the pace that day. And it was in a contrast, really, to the performances that we've seen through the regular group stage. They've certainly been better than that, so they'll be glad to be turning up today and starting to hit a few of those shots. Kayak especially. 6-1 so far inside 2 rounds, going fantastically well, and that's something that Heroic really, at this point, I think you've just got to sort of facilitate. If a player's going to come in playing like that, you've just got to take the leash off a little bit. Just let them go, do what you can, get the drones out in front of them, get them into positions to find those kills, just let them hit those shots and they'll do the damage.
No, for sure, and especially if you looked at where Kayak entered, that is something you can, consistently start to play around. And then my question will be, where will Kayak enter the site from this time? Is it just going to be a jump in on the B window, or will we find him somewhere around in the actual workshop? By the way, if we look at the setup of the defense, there is a mirror to be brought. It's going to be helping them to take and hold control of Office. See that the top floor is quite important, as at the start, 4 of them move up towards the top to start making rotations, start putting down utility, reinforce off some walls. So Heroic's answer is, screw the top. We're going to go right horizontally. The multi right ahead is going to be shepherding these players out of position, forcing them to fall back and allowing the side of Heroic to take control of the southwestern side of the map. Kayak again, he's so far in.
Just looking through a nasty little angle there. Blaz is actually going to take a little bit of damage elsewhere in the map. A little bit quiet so far. Only 2 rounds in, though. Plenty of time for him to get going. Uno's just bullying Savage at the minute, and that's a good thing because it's keeping the pulse off his heartbeat scanner. It's just reducing the information that they're going to be getting in from that op. He knows that he can't risk pulling that gadget out of his pocket. There comes the ping, and there comes the kill. Kayak this time on the entry, making it 7-1, and that's what I was talking about with facility. He finds another hap. He won't mind losing his life because he's just taken down Thorn and Pulse.
YZN goes down as well, leaves it in a 2v4 situation actively now. The Twitch drone trying to go for the confirm, and we'll be finding that as well. It's only left to Savage now on that Pulse. Has the opportunity to play with the C4. It's going to be the question if that's even going to be tossed out here. Bit of discomfort due to the Twitch drone kill to come through. Savage swings! He's not going to be finding a kill. Skinny locks him off, and that's going to be the 2-1 for Heroic. Again, Kayak leading the spear of the attack coming through. And just quick side control gain afterwards. And if you looked at it here now, the majority of them came in from detention, but Kayak, he came in from passport control. He had these angles, he was just making punch holes, so if the multi spotted someone out, he had the opportunity to reply. And then he did exactly that with those pings. And currently there's nothing being done by Secret to stop this.
That's the thing. Secret need to be careful here.
He's just by himself. It's just a single guy.
You've got to start dealing with it. I think the problem sometimes, dealing with a focus player, when you're on defense, if you've got an attacker who, like Kayak at the minute, is sort of going a bit wild and causing you problems, it's quite difficult to deal with because as defenders, you're sort of sitting back and you're waiting to see what happens. You're waiting to see where the attackers push from. What do they do? It's more difficult to single somebody out because, of course, you don't know where Kite is going to push from. You don't know which angle he's going to approach. When it's vice versa, if you've got a defender who's particularly popping off and causing you a problem, you can start getting your drones on them. You can identify where in the map they're playing. Right, we'll send 2 or 3 into that position. We'll box them off. We'll make it so that it's a trade. So it's much easier to deal with that as an attacker towards a defender than it is in this situation. Kayak just needs, and it's no surprise seeing him pick up the Ash, he just needs to keep himself slippery, just needs to keep himself off the radar, just, coming in through those unusual angles. Uno's managing to pick up Groovy. I think Secret just trying to inject a little bit of pace, a little bit of aggression into this, try and take command, take control, but it's really not paid off. They've lost the Doc Cap and they've lost the stim pistol shots with him.
I mean, the Doc is often an operator you can use for those spawn peaks because you take a little bit of damage, you heal yourself back up to full HP, but if you take the headshot, there's going to be none of that, and that's exactly what Groovy managed to receive. First RC hero is popping off, taking care of a prox, a barricade, and a barbed wire. Is really going to be opening up the door for a potential push out there. Skitty, in the meantime, is exploring down that bottom floor. Now, he's going to be starting to move up with some vertical grenades. Might actually hit out the Warden there. A lot of damage done, but not quite the kill yet. So YZN survives and lives to fight in another moment in this round. Oh, not very long, maybe. Nope.
Beautiful nade from Blaz there. I said he'd been a little bit quiet so far, but he certainly finds his feet in round 4. Manages to get himself a big double, and Heroic are starting to run away with this. Hap Secret need to do something. They need to do it soon. They need to be finding that brake pedal. Astro just gives it a little squeeze there, taking down Blaz with a headshot. That brings us back to still a 2 versus 4 for them, though. Kayak hasn't been as active in this round, but he's got the cover. Uno's going to... Just as I say it, he's got the cover that he needed. Uno's getting that plant down. The kill comes in, but it's almost certainly going to be irrelevant as the diffuser is stuck. Uno comes off, finds that final kill, and that's Heroic now 3-1.
Very dominant attack so far coming out from Heroic. They've been able to deal with whatever Secret is throwing up in terms of a defense here. Just circumvent it, walk around it, don't really care that much, straight to the point. That's been a good summary of how these attacks have been going, and then you leave out a crucial part, which is Kayak, of course, that's just found a way to insert himself in the middle of the site every now and then. Just bar this round, first time he wasn't actually on the site first. sometimes you need to change even though you're winning, and that's that's exactly what Heroic did there. Now we're going up to the next, the fourth site, the one we haven't seen before. As we're going back to these grenades. So the first one didn't quite confirm the kill, but they had an idea when the Warden was. Just toss the second one in and confirm it.
Absolutely beautiful there, and then manages to swing. They're never easy as well, fighting up through the hatches, always difficult. One way I look at it quite often, when it comes to vertical fights in Siege, whoever has the high ground tends to come out as the victor, but Blaz just able to overturn those odds there. Now then, we're going to have the mirror brought along this time. Always an operator. It is an old strat, trying to hold on to CCTV here. It's always an operator that I enjoy watching, very transformational when brought along on many sites. And we'll see whether that manages to keep Team Secret dug in to CCTV or whether they cleared out or not. They're going to need to hold on to it. They are, of course, downstairs in customs. So very important area. If you can get that vertical, the hatch isn't quite as critical as it used to be. The hatch used to be in the middle of CCTV, the room that we're in now, and it gave a fantastic view over all of site. It's been moved closer to the wall, so it restricts the number of angles that you can use from it. So it is less valuable, but even then, you can still do some serious work from that.
The thing is, I believe there's only a single person currently inside of CCTV. No, actually, make that 2 now. If you lose control of CCTV, you basically lost the entire site. That's how important that site is you just mentioned. So they really need to be making sure they can keep a hold of this. The thing is, if you look at the right-hand side of your screen, the utility that's there's 4 frag grenades, 2 already have been used. Make that 2 as Blast just got taken down by Savage. The entry kill will finally go to Secret, but it's also fire arrows that Kaya can bring along. It could be very beneficial in trying to root out these defenders.
Doom just knows that he's going to be challenged on the angle, can't do anything about it though, as Savage just manages to bob and weave, finds his man, takes him down, and Astro doubles down, and Heroic's problems get worse here in round 5. It's now a 1 versus 5 as Groovy finds Kayak. Uno manages to prevent the flawless, but it's likely to be all that he can do here. He's got an awful lot of work. A little bounce of the flashbang means he has to just stop in his push forward. He's on a cam, he's got everything working against him. They're just going to keep pushing him from multiple sides till the kill comes in. YZM finds it, and Secret, they manage to at least get themselves a second.
Left, right, and up above. That's where we're coming for him from, and well, Uno wasn't able to clutch that one out. Well done by Secret there. Biting back when it was most needed, finding themselves with a second round on the board now. And as we are headed towards Armory Lockers for one final time on Secret's defense, unless we go to overtime, they are looking to find themselves a even half, a 3-3. But if you look at how Heroic has been playing so far, you wouldn't be saying that this has been an even half. Like, Heroic has been in charge for the majority of these rounds. Bar the one we've just seen, that was just pure Secret lockout.
I would agree, absolutely. I think, you know, Heroic definitely have been in charge. The one thing that I would say that we need to keep in mind is the fact that Heroic have started on attack, and we know that on border that can be advantageous. If Team Secret can come away with a 3-3 half, they've actually not done too bad despite how this might feel. The big question then will be asked in round 7 and 8, where Team Secret come onto the attack themselves, and whether they can maintain that momentum to carry them forward on their own map pick. But right now we're going to have their final defensive round. It's back to Armory they go. We've got Astro just hunting around looking for those drones. Picks up a signal there, but he'll know that it's somebody at the front door. He's just conscious there of the potential for Uno pushing him from that direction.
Yeah, and then you're going like, do I want to expand an impact grenade to run out from detention, or do I want to risk it by jumping out the window and being caught off like that? The answers are no. They're not going to go as aggressive as they might have otherwise done in the first couple of rounds. First phone call goes off. That's just to allow Kayak to start moving in, because everybody will be turning off their phones. No one will be watching cameras or verticalities. And as June finds the first kill, it's the 5th entry for Heroic so far this game. And that is almost complete first floor locked out by Heroic. Now they need to find themselves a way up.
Going to be using that nade again, unsuccessful this time. Groovy taking damage up there, going to have to dip himself out of that fight down to pretty much 1 bullet. We'll see him done. Second nade used. Doom not going to be successful. Doom pretty quiet as well so far. Had a little bit of action in the first round, but certainly not a name that I've had cause to use too much. I'm sure Heroic will want to see him get into the game a little bit more here, and it might just be that difference maker between a 3-3 half and a 4-2-1 in their favour.
Still grenades. Joom about to be tossing one up as well. It's going to be very close. Actually right on the mark. Ruby loses his life, and that's a 2-man advantage right now for the side of Heroic. Of course, they were looking for that 4-2 lock-off. They are getting very close right now. Kayak is finding himself all the way below on the opposite side of the map, probably looking for a way or a distraction to start moving up on the eastern side, but he's being watched. Savage is fully aware of the fact that he's out there, will find that kill and shut him down. Now suddenly no more pressure coming through. YZN takes down Blast before Uno strikes back, finds a second. Savage, the last man standing now in that 1v3. What does he have? Well, 2 impacts and a 9x19 to work with, but his angle is being covered off here. If he walks forward, Joom should be able to pick up the kill. And that's the round locked off for Heroic. A 4-2 split for them in favor. And now they need to do it on the fence.
Really well played by Heroic in that last round there. I just want to touch on what Uno did. You saw him push forward, got himself a beautiful double, and you could feel in his movement that the aggression was there to continue it. He knew there was another kill to be found, and it closes out the round. But what I love is that he put the stoppers on. He said, nope, I know that I've got the diffuser. I'm backing up here, and I'm going to start getting that plant down. And it just touches on something XR Draker said in the pre-game, and that was that commitment from Uno to be that support player, to be making those decisions, to be getting that diffuser down, and it was just great play from him. In the end, it wasn't needed. The cover was there. Joom got the kill, but it was just that control, that you could see the desire to push forward and get that last kill, but nope, step back, just took the edge off a little bit. Diffuser starts going down. Beautiful played from Heroic. A good first half.
It's a bit of experience that comes along with Uno as well. Of course, he knows exactly what is needed at that point, and maybe like one of the younger players would have indeed pushed forward and find themselves in a different position. Not that it would have led to their demise right away, but it could be in other rounds.
Got a little stats coming in production, working fantastically in conjunction with Fresh once again to provide us with those. Heroic, the first team this stage to play Grim. As I said, one that we don't see too often brought along. Didn't have a big impact. We did see use the gadget. It wasn't a huge gadget.
Yeah, well,
it wasn't a huge impact.
Got deployed, but no one really got caught off by it. But that's also like, you want to go at it, like, do teams on purposely, avoid it, like, had it choose in that point, because you don't want to be walking through the bees, because then everybody knows who you are, kind of like a Prisma. So it definitely had some impact. It's just, it wasn't visible impact that we had.
Just going to have Kayak defending the boundaries here. We saw Skiddy early on as well, very nearly get an opportunity. If we look at the drone game, it's still going well for Team Secret. 9 drones left alive, only 2 of those in pocket, so they should be absolutely rolling in information right now. Hap, they're certainly rolling in kills. Uno goes down. That's going to be the entry for Team Secret, and this is what I said. Team Secret getting onto the attack. It's going to be very important. Round 7, round 8, just to see how they step into it. If Heroic can win this first round as a defense, that could be a real blow to Secret, so it's good that they've got their opener.
Potential return though, as Sleben does get in the DBNO state. Blast will find a kill himself as well, and as Astro removed off the board, so only a single grenade left to worry about on this side of Heroic. Now, let's go for the pickup onto Sleben, or at least that's what they're currently going to attempt, as you saw the rotation going around from Savage. Hoping to take this in a 4-on-4 fashion. The difference is, though, between these two teams is that Heroic was already all the way inside the building, and Secret really haven't been able to make that form of progress yet. They're more playing from the outside in, trying to find themselves a safe passage through, with a beautiful shot from Groovy taking down Skiddy. Instantly the grenade to follow up, but that will miss. Kayak didn't know how close he was to potentially losing his life out there.
Kayak at the minute just hidden away, and the fact that the nade missed would suggest they don't know at least exactly where he is, so could be an opportunity, certainly one to watch as the round passes on. If Secret start pushing in now, then is this drone going to find Kayak? No, they've misdroned him if they don't check behind that desk. Savage will not pick him up. Hap, this could be seriously dangerous for Team Secret if they push in here. It's going to be an absolute freebie. All they can hope is that it's not more than one.
That's going to be one of those round-defining moments here.
Oh dear.
He's just holding tight, waiting for the perfect moment. Spots one, misses the shot, but he's definitely given away his position now, and that means they need to deal with him. Okay, because they're getting closer. Sleben finds a kill. He needs to reply now. Finds the first, rotates around. He's not sticking around, going back towards the site. But Sleben out there, waiting for him, will find that kill and secure the round for Secret.
Very unlucky for Kayak there. Did great work, kept himself off the radar, misdroned, had the opportunity, but unfortunately his team was unable to hold on elsewhere. So even though he missed those couple of shots, they weren't easy to find at such a long range. But even with them landing, it was very unlikely because he was still in a 1vX because teammates were dying elsewhere around the map. So Team Secret, they come back with a very good start on attack, and that is exactly what they needed. They need to answer with at least a 4-2 half here to take them into overtime. So there's work to be done, but they've just shown that side swap could be the difference.
And of course, we know Border to be an aggressive map and attackers are often in favor. But you still need to be pulling out these rounds. And misdroning someone like that could be detrimental, right? Like it wasn't this time around. But who knows? It might be the diffuser just left lingering around on the back and you just somehow take him down. There's 10 seconds left on the clock. There's no time to send someone over to fetch it and then get that plant down. So they got away with it this time. Just need to make sure it doesn't happen again because they might not be as lucky next time around. Overall, well played though by Secret. They were able to take the kills and find openings that were necessary. They were playing it from the outside quite passively compared to Heroic style of attacking, but they found success nonetheless.
Savage going to just be taking his due diligence, taking out those default cameras before pushing up to the boundary of the building. The defenders likely watching that. They will watch to see which cams get taken out first. It gives you an indication of exactly where people have spawned. We've got once again aggression from Heroic here. Look at Uno right up on the window. Certainly keen to get a jump out if he can. They're not going to be able to get drones in through here. 2 have been captured, but look at that aggression coming in. But the diffuser is down from that Capcan trap.
That's the Capcan trap coming in clutch. Uno will find a kill and confirm onto YZN. 7 goes down as well. That leads into a 3-on-5, 2-on-5 situation now. Savage, can you try and salvage this? Has some flashbangs to work with here. Potentially Groovy's about to be double peaked. Doesn't die by either of them. Swaps over to the pistol. He's refusing to yield this fight and wants to continue. An impact grenade won't catch him. The pistol eventually will find a kill onto Blaz. And that brings it back. Slow it down just a little bit here right now as the C4 gets prepped. It's going to be tossed down the hatch. Not quite sure what the ID was right behind that, but it is at least a moment to catch some breath for the Secret players out here.
Yeah, the Secret desperately need to do that. You know, just have a look at the clock, realise that you're not in a rush. You can just take this as it comes. It's 2 versus 4. You've got plenty of time. You know, use that. Instead, pushing in, not using the drones, not using the utility, not going to know that they're going into a prox alarm. Kayak manages to take down Savage 1v4, and that is it. Uno pushes out, gets the final kill, and I don't know, I've got questions to Secret there, Hap. You know, they came out in round 7 and they played it very well. They were 4v1 at the end, you know, nice and steady. They did the drone in, it was a standard attack. They come out in round 8 and I won't say inexplicably, rushes work sometimes, but
they got ambushed.
Why at that point just rush into site? Why at that point decide, yeah, we're just going to run into ventilation here? You run into a Capcan trap, you're ahead of yourself, you haven't drawn that out, you drop the diffuser, and then the ambush comes in, as you say. For me, Secret didn't need to change anything from round 7 there. They've decided to throw a bit of a Hail Mary rush into ventilation, and ultimately, it's cost them the round before they know it. They're 2-3 men down. I don't really get the need for the change. Just, you know, keep playing your game that you played in round 7.
I mean, they thought they were trying to drone it. It's just that the mute jammers blocked it off and decided to just go for it in the end. And I don't know what was the reason for that call. Maybe it was knowledge about other players being in different spots too far away from the site to respond quickly. Maybe they thought that was going to be their saving grace, but, you know, as soon as that diffuser goes down by a Capcan trap and then someone pops up from the window behind you and takes you out with a shotgun, you realize that that was exactly what Heroic was preparing for. They probably were aware that Secret was going to be going for a play like that, set themselves up properly all around it to shut it down if it did happen. And it did happen, and Heroic managed to win that round. They're now 2 away from taking this first map in his best-of-3 series. Again, as a reminder for everybody at home, the loser is not knocked out of any major contention. Neither does the winner confirm themselves, because both will be going down to last chance qualifiers. It's just a matter of seeding. And the winning team will go up against Koi, and the losing team will go up against Wolves. So both are EUL teams. Both are formidable opponents.
Okay then, we're going to be in round 9 and Team Secret, for me, take it back to round 7. You know, take it back to the standard, you know, just go in there, take your map control, you know, work forward from there. Don't try to do anything too flashy, too explosive, because at the end of the day, you don't need to. You've shown that you can win the round on attack very, very comfortably without doing so. Savage just going to take out that window at distance. Skiddy was already up there and ready to potentially push in, I think. Just waiting for them if they were looking to get in through the window, but he's not going to have to push forward. He's just going to keep himself in CCTV for the time being. Oh, that's the information, and that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, you know, round 7, you mentioned it. They played it from outside in. They were playing it nicely and passively. The grenade doesn't bounce back the way they wanted to, so unable to actually quite confirm the kill. Gemini Replicator will be moving in to try and see if they can actually get that control. Another drone is being stopped by the Mosley Pest, and Uno has already fallen off towards the eastern stairs. A second bounce back comes through, but that won't catch anybody, of course.
Uno again just flirting with danger. Grooby's going to find Skiddy, as I did have a feeling. I said he may well push out of that window, and he does decide to. Kayak manages to find Grooby on his way in, and that is trading that out at least, leaving us 4 versus 4. But again, look how aggressively this game is being played. We've had an entry, we've had a response, and we're only a minute 15 into the round. June manages to get one, traded out once again, and this is just turning into a brawl. Hap, it's blow for blow.
It definitely is, but you know, site, at least the top part of it, seems to be completely open. Sleben finds himself in the archives, and of course we are in bathroom tellers, but the verticality should have been under control by now, but Blast suddenly pops up, finds himself a kill. Now it's 2 on 3. Two-player EDD goes off another time. There's definitely finding a lot of victims here, these Capcan traps, and that leaves it only up to YZN now to try and lock it off. He got taken down by Blast through the wall, and that means that Heroic is going to be finding themselves up onto map point.
Secret are getting hurt by unknown utility too often. That's 2 Capcan traps in 2 rounds. You know, at this level, you can't be suffering with that. It's losing your rounds. You know, they had 5 active drones still. Yeah, you know, it might not be 7, it might not be 8, it might not be 9, but 5 is sufficient.
You don't need 9.
Exactly. 5 is sufficient to be finding a Capcan trap before you go through a door. You know, they have to be picking up on that utility. You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And I think that's what we're seeing for Secret there. Really, they can't keep getting caught out by that.
There's also a Yana that could have used a Gemini Replicator.
Exactly,
check,
exactly.
Either way, Heroic are the most flexible team currently in Europe, having played 52 operators so far. 28 attackers and 24 defenders. So what I actually like to see from this stand is something I saw during SIs was that attack has gotten so flexible over the last couple of years. Because when we were on the utility meta, we basically had like 8 operators at max that you would see used like often on the attack. Now you have teams like Heroic that play 28 attackers over this entire stage so far. It's insane to think about, like how basically every single operator has a place in the meta right now, and all pieces of utility are finding use to some extent.
Here we go then. Could be our final round as Team Secret are just looking a little bit punch drunk at the minute. Heroic have certainly come out looking like a different outfit to the one that we saw against Eminem in the last game, and it's like they've got a point to prove. Skiddy's tried this previously, nearly caught his man, but this time he's going to dip away from the angle, not going to overly challenge that. He's going back for more. Happy knows that they're there. He can't find his shots though. Savage and Skiddy just escaping each other's clutches without any damage, but it's going to be Doom to pick up Sleben. Could this be the beginning of the end for Team Secret here on border?
Could definitely be, and there's definitely some pays down below as well as Carrot gets taken down by Astro over that top. Now, of course, the side is going to be finding themselves up on the top floor. There's those players that are currently downstairs need to be finding themselves a way back up sooner rather than later, because Secret is continuing onwards the way they currently are. They're just taking what they need and move onwards from there as Astro takes Blaz. Another grenade pops and almost takes down Uno. Before Skiddy finally strikes back, it's a 3-on-3 effectively. Still trying to take control off CCTV, but Skiddy, he's not yielding. He's still fighting. He's still trying to go back in. All he needs is a single headshot. He will find themselves with another kill.
Skiddy's actually doing a great job there. He's just managed to take damage off 2 people. Can't juice himself up before being dealt with, though, as YZN closes him down. And once again, another round at absolute breakneck pace finds us with 20 seconds, 1 minute 20 gone. And Astro manages to take out Uno. That's the big problem piece that's now been removed. It leaves Doom in a 1v3, finds himself a freebie, though. And this just became doable, Hap.
It definitely did, but that gave away the idea that they could go for a potential plant as well. But Joom finds himself so close already. It seems like they're aware, and they go for the double swing together. Secret will hold on for at least another round because they were aware he was coming. And it just pre-firing them both at the same time, find themselves that kill, and find themselves a round to bring themselves up to 6-4.
Something for Secret to hold on to there, really, is getting that round, because it's not just a round, it's not just 4-6, it's the fact that they've taken Armory, which will have likely been the primary site choice for Heroic to get this over the line. So yes, they can go back and try that again, but it's just putting that doubt in their mind. They're going to move themselves on. You know what? We don't want any more of that top floor action. We're going to go to ventilation instead. The problem that I'm a little bit concerned of here for Heroic is this is the one that I criticised Team Secret for back in round 8. They just pretty much ran in through the door. They got caught out by the cap can. It all went wrong. They got ambushed. They're not going to do that again. So Heroic thinking, yep, we've won that. That's fine. Let's go back there. I don't think it's really that true a reflection, because now they're going to see a different Team Secret attacking this site than they won this all back in round 8. So I'm not sure this works out for Heroic. And if Secret can grab this, if they can take this round, I'm starting to feel like it could be anybody's then.
As Heroic has reached the 54th operator played, as you mentioned, are now going down below. And the thing is, I think that last round basically pivoted around Skiddy. If he was able to just stay put and not have to go over to heal Uno, he would have been in a safer position. He wouldn't have been picked up from that window, and suddenly it was still a 3-on-3. Suddenly CCTV would still be under control, which was of course the entry point that Secret was able to use to get themselves towards the site. So that shows you how just a single kill could be so detrimental. Secret, though, have found a different way of dealing with Capcan traps. And I believe it is going to be the clutch drone that they have sent out to try and spot these Capcan traps to maybe find their original owner instead. Default cam has been hacked. It's going to be giving them good information over the side of 90. They're aware of the fact that there's someone out here behind, which is June. But spots came through and Capcan traps weren't quite able to reach it with the clutch drone. The second one is still in position, so they can still move that one in.
Taking out the drone up above there. Blaz just spotting out those couple of pixels that were the wrong colour. And that is not a bad shout. Capturing Capcan traps can be absolutely, quite literally lethal. Uno is going to know that that's happened, though, so able to take it down. It's just such a difficult thing to keep a track of and to realise if you're moving around quickly, particularly around the site as a defender, it's one that could definitely catch you out. For anybody unaware, by doing that with the clutch drone, it actually flips it, so the Capcan trap would explode for a defender moving through it. That's a good entry from Astro, though. Manages to take Skiddy, and that's top floor control underway for Team Secret.
It's the kind of play they need right now to secure themselves some form of success. At least they weren't going to go for another rush. Now they are trying to take it a bit more like round 7, as you mentioned, a bit more outwards to in. The map is paper thin. All you need is just a couple of shots and you're already through a wall, and you can see 2 rooms further. And right now, Secret is trying to play that to their fullest advantage. They're aware of someone to be around in the archives, are able to find a kill as well. The second one to be found by Groovy, a third on the board as well, and only up to Uno now with a minute on the clock to try and clutch it up as Feet gets shut out. Sleben finds the kill, and we find ourselves with 6-5. And you were right, Tim, it was not the play to go back down there.
As I said, Heroic, yes, they wanted to change it up from Armory. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I just hope it wasn't based on round 8, because like I say, you've not seen Team Secret attack that properly, and when we see them come in and do things differently, they give a much better account of themselves than they did last time. So, you know, maybe somewhere else might have been the better play, but ultimately that's what it was. Round 11 goes to Team Secret. Heroic now find themselves, they've been reeled back in. It was 6-3. They've given away 2 map point opportunities, and what an early blow to strike. Taking Secret's map away from them would be. Now it's the tack time out. Now you feel Heroic are on the back foot a little bit.
Of Of course, they have a lot to talk about now because they've played 3 different sites. They've seen themselves lose on 2 of them. And thus that means that they need to try and quickly figure out what exactly is going wrong and how they can change that. Bathroom Teller's coming up. It's the one that they were able to win, the one they were able to reach map points with. Hoping to do that again as they're up against Secret. But that timeout is not just for this next round. Of course, the majority of it is going to be about round 12 because that's where you either make this round happen and you find yourselves onto map 2 or you're headed towards overtime. But that's what the second part of that timeout is about. Like, if we go to overtime, don't worry, we're on this side. Like, this and this are these final tips that you need to be aware of. As we're quickly visiting or revisiting Gruby's 3K here up the top. Really just cleaned it all up by himself.
The important point for overtime, of course, that being Team Secret start on attack. So Heroic, they're looking at this thinking,
time's running out.
You know, we could do with getting this done now. It's been 4-2 halves in favour of the attackers. So Heroic are not going to want to go in there, continuing on defence, having only picked up 2 rounds. So for me now, this could be a really pivotal round here on Border. And it could well be the last opportunity that Heroic get to get this one done.
Getting it done is what they'll be looking for. Seeing if there's any form of aggression, and the answer is yes. Instantly, Skitty going for the run out. Actually gets a little bit of a tag done onto Savage, but nothing too major. Savage mostly just focusing on getting these Capcan traps under control. Now, if you hack that procs, they're going to be aware of the fact that you've hacked it. And does exactly that. That's all 3 clutch charges used. Is Oryx going to be aware? It's always that big question. Might not be. Kayak at least doesn't take out the Capcan traps as of yet.
I think the Capcan trap. Ooh, which side of the
board
were they on? Oh, sorry, yeah, they're on the inside.
They've been found now.
Yeah, so they're going to be dealt with now. I mean, that's the other important thing, Hap. Yeah, if you can turn it round completely and somebody walks through one, you know, yeah, brilliant. But really, it's more about just forcing them defenders to destroy their own utility. Basically, it's now rendered harmless to you. There's no way that they can change that back. It's not like, you know, maybe an echo drone that could be recaptured by a Mozzie Pest. You know, if we're really going down the rabbit hole.
I mean, you could mozzie a clutch drone and then rehack the Capcan traps, but I mean, it's a lot
just
of
wheels within wheels, Hap. But the likelihood is that they're just going to get shot out. Blast manages to level things up. Important kill for Heroic there. They certainly don't want Mankind getting away from them. This is a very late reinforcement.
Especially with someone else on the opposite side of that window there. Could have quickly sent some rounds their way if they were quick enough and taken him down. The clutch drone just roaming around, seeing if you can find anything. You see already 1 hack has been completed. Not quite sure what piece of utility that was, but 2 more to be gained as Kayak will find Astro. This is some good developments coming down from Heroic. If it wasn't for YZN taking 1 down as well, they have the shoulder to hand that they're firing upon from Doom, and they forced him out of his position.
It's definitely going to move that feet. The footwork is not good enough, though. Savage manages to take down his man. 3 versus 2. Heroic, you've got a minute and you've got 1 man. It's all up to Uno to get this done here and now. Otherwise, it's going to require some extra rounds. And Hap, we're going to overtime.
14 or 15 rounds is going to be that next question, but well played here by Secret. They realized where Heroic were, they managed to take them down effectively. And that last kill, that wasn't actually knowledge of the player out there, that was just opening up the barricade. Suddenly rounds start flying back at you there. So just a quick response on the return fire. 6-6 overtime indeed on that very first map.
Secret, for the first time maybe in this game, are going to feel like they've got a real advantage here coming in. As I say, they've hung on long enough to see themselves get that overtime attacking start. They've just gone 4-2 on their attacking half, so you've really got to say that the odds are with them at the minute. It's going to be back to Armory. Let's not forget, this is the site that was lost back in round 10, and it's where the wheels started to come off for Heroic, where they allowed Team Secret to step back into this matchup. You've got to remind you, it was 6-3 at a point to Heroic. 3 map points that they were unable to lock down. So Secret, they are certainly carrying some momentum into this overtime.
For sure, they'll be feeling it for this third half ready to come through. They want to make sure that they lock off at least one of these next 2 rounds to find themselves in a better spot for that final one. Because as you mentioned, the majority of rounds has gone to the attack. 8 of them out of the 12 played. If we're looking at the opening kill statistics, most of them have gone towards the attack as well. I believe it is in total, 9 times out of the 12 rounds we've seen it went to the attack. So that's always a nice statistic to have. Kirby's just spotted Kayak there. I'm not sure if Kayak was actually looking up at the drone because he doesn't seem to be too worried about it. No, he's not dealing with it currently. So they know exactly where Kayak is, and that drone is going to be continuing to provide that accurate information.
Astro just going to be taking out the default cam, waiting for that information to come in. Kayak is the one that he would be pushing into, but certainly not going to be taking that fight on just yet. Kayak actually dips himself, dips himself back into office, but he's actually going to try and just reclaim his position at the top of these stairs.
Throwing a quick magnet there to support his teammates, so if he falls, there's still his legacy in the magnets about. That could be helpful there for them. Now he's truly falling off though, as the wall next to him has been opened up by Selma, so it's no longer viable to play around there, so he'll be moving himself over to Fountain and the potential to move into 90 as well, which will give him a bit more flexibility to deal with. The mirror window from Blazer is in a good position to stop them from using the full potential of these stairs, and thus he will decide to do so as well. First grenades are starting to come through. Savage will find Skitty. He literally just moved into that position where the grenade bounced onto and sees his life removed.
You can hear another Selma charge just detonating there, and I love what Team Secret are doing here. Just piece by piece, they are removing each barrier that is in front of them. You know, I think they've recognised that these rounds, as I've said so far, have been lightning quick. The teams haven't been using all the time available to them, whereas Team Secret now are a little happier to do that. You know, we've got Kayak at the top of these stairs. Selma charge, open the wall, moving from there. Right, we've got a problem in 90 corridor. Right, Selma charge onto break room wall, get that open, problem solved, and they're just working through it step by step. They've got themselves the advantage in terms of man count as well. Real opportunity for Secret.
You know, in a good position right here, right on the back of the Ash, and will find a kill onto Groovy as well. There's a little pressure suddenly removed. Savage will strike back to onto June. One of the mirror windows has been rendered useless. This grenade could be round, defining, but a magnet will catch it. And that means Kayak will find himself safe. Moves in aggressively, finds the diffuser, knows of a second around the mirror window, but he's afraid of potentially being peeked from different angles as well. So he decides to hold the door. They need to recover that diffuser. The leg gets spotted, and the heads get taken down. Savage finds Kayak and leaves Heroic in a 2v3 situation.
Great example of perspective working within the game there. Kayak, of course, close to the object, so the man further away just had the advantage on being able to find that angle. Diffuser is going down. Savage is able to stick it after the kill that I spoke about, and that is a good position for Secret now. Uno Blaz trying to fight their way back into this. 30 seconds to find the kill. Sleben just holding on from the ventilation window. No, he's going to be taken out. Savage with a double and an ace, and that is Team Secret getting their first round in overtime and giving themselves their first opportunity to win this match.
The opening kill, the plant, and the ace, all for Savage right there. If there's a round that's good for your EPS...
That was Savage versus Heroic.
That was Savage versus Heroic. It's definitely that round he just played out there. And now they find themselves at a map point. It's only map 1, everybody. Remember, the winning team is going to be going up against Koi, the losing team up against Wolves. But it's not over after this round or the next. We're only merely headed towards Oregon afterwards. And now Secret will find themselves on the defense. Now they have found themselves with a little bit of success on Armory and also a bit of success on Customs. But they decide to go for a completely different side instead. It is, it is actually Customs they're heading to. So they are going to go down towards that first floor site. They found that success on earlier. And the key role here was the pressure they had onto CCTV. That is something they were unable to take from the side of Heroic, and thus they're playing it exactly the same. Mirror windows out, verticality out as well by Doc using that bailiff to open stuff up, and we might actually see a bit of an expansion coming down as well with the use of the castle to provide somewhat, you know, of a safer area with those castle barricades around.
Yeah, you've got to keep hold of that vertical. Round 4, they played this site and lost it. Uno was able to get the diffuser down. Having that verticality in round 5 prevented that, and what a start! Savage straight out of the door, has a look over the east stairs balcony, cuts down Kayak, and that is a big, big blow to Heroic. 14 kills for Kayak. He's been firing on all cylinders, but he's going to be firing on absolutely none here in round 14.
Already 3 drones destroyed as well, and I'm not sure how many Kayak still had in pocket, because those are going to be gone as well, of course. And as Heroic, they will have a man less to worry of, or to play with rather, as the RC Reterrors are starting to pop off some extra angles right here. Secret not too worried about that. They want to lock off these 4 final kills. And as a window gets opened up, Joom fully aware of the fact that he might just receive some pressure from the sandwich window out there, so will fall off instead. He's not going to stick around.
Going to be sending in the Rotero drones instead. Heroic just having a little bit of a pause here, knowing that they need to get themselves prepped. They can't throw away any more lives, and that could be an issue when it comes down to time. Still working on the defaults, but Blaz, he manages to find Savage. That levels things up, and that's going to be his 6-kill streak ended here in round 14. Savage taken down, leaving us 4 versus 4, and we're still only halfway through the round. Heroic have got time. They've still got the utility they need. They only lost the Twitch. Really not the end of the world. This is definitely doable for Heroic to keep themselves in it.
Blast still sneaking around. Of course, they know where he was, but do you want to retake that ground? The answer will be no. Like, why would you try and retake the office for yourselves? I mean, it's nice to have, but it doesn't really participate towards your round victory in the end here. CCTV is way more important, and that's what they're currently holding off on. Astro hiding right behind a PC there just to show as little of his head as possible. Of course, it's not going to be bulletproof, and actually goes for a bit of an overheal right here as he wants to lean back into the fight. Spots the one, takes down Skitty as well. Flashbang still pop, but no success as of yet for the side of Heroic, as Gribby will find another one as well. Blaz gets shut down, and it's the end of the round as Team Secret will be finding themselves the first map under the name.
Like a boulder rolling downhill there, Secret just picked up more and more pace towards the end of that round, and were able to close it out. Ultimately, that choice of starting on the attack really helping them in overtime, as they were able to